Hey, what's the crack? You're all very welcome to Buckshot, the old podcast. Fair play to you. This is the old Ramble Pod version, number 25 for 21st of the 11th, 2018. Yeah, I'm a day late. I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry. Well, better late than not fucking at all, isn't it? Huh? There's nobody giving out, just a couple of messages going, did I miss something there, Tom? Slight levels passive aggressiveness. And I like that. It's honest. You know, that kind of way. It's kind of going, where's my fucking podcast? Which is fair enough. Fair enough. I've up to me tits. And I had them planned on getting it out to you last night. Being Tuesday. But Colin Geddes, we had kind of talked about it all earlier and we both had kind of forgotten. He just came back from LA. He was like, fuck, would you come in and open for me in Whelan's tonight? So that was last night. And by the time the crack and all the end, it was like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning when I got back last night. So nobody wants to listen to a podcast from a man at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. It's going to sound so... I should do one, actually, just of me rambling, proper rambling, like just losing my mind, like where basically there's nothing but complete and utter higher levels of horror shit coming out of me. Holy fuck. Jesus, it's ages since I talked to you. Is it? Feels like fucking ages. It was only last Tuesday, essentially. I know we had a Aoife Dooley between then and now. But yeah, the old Ramble Pod, fucking hell. It was cool, actually, you know what I mean? Because there's a few people in there last night that also... there was a Venn diagram of people that listened to both podcasts. They were chatting afterwards. That this is their weekly... One of their weekly level lumps of... well, I think Colin is pumping out like 2 podcasts as well. So now you've 4 days of at least complete and unfiltered fucking complete and utter horseshit coming out of 2 blokes who just are slightly probably tapped. Do you know? So people seem to enjoy that. How was your weekend? Fair play to all the Patreon people. Good on you. You're still on board. There's people slinging dollars at it left, right and centre. If you haven't considered Patreon before, have an old fucking gander at it. There's no twist in your arm. But the only thing I will say is that it does help the podcast. Obviously more gear. The gear has arrived. Extra gear has arrived, like arms and stuff like that. And I say arms like fucking... like that's making any sense to, to anybody. Microphone holding shit, basically. And some more microphone cables. So we can do kind of multiple people on the old pod, because you can record with this anyway. You can record like with anything up to 4. I think I can do six people on this. I'm probably never going to have 6 people with 5 people with me on the fucking podcast. Who the fuck would I be talking to? A boy band, like, you know what I mean? I don't know any boy bands, but you'd never know. You'd never know. There could be an old bit of banter in that, and essentially that's what I allow the Patreon money to do. The Patreon money goes straight towards buying new gear. Like I said, if you haven't heard of it before, give it an old fucking gander. It's, you know, it helps towards the podcast. You can give a one-time payment, I think, of $3, or you can sign up to it on a monthly basis if you feel it's worth it to you. Do you know what I mean? And of course, to wet those people's beak, because you got to give them a little taste of the action. You got to give them something, a little something, little fucking backhander there. You got to give them something. And exclusive to only Patreons on the Patreon page, there is an episode every week from the back catalogue of the Tom and Jerry Show, which is myself and Tom. Jesus Christ, I fuck this up every week. I know who I am. You wouldn't think it to fucking listen to me, but it's myself and Jerry McBride. Waterford Whispers fame Jerry McBride. We had a show together, and it allows me, like, I think about 18 episodes of that. So this is going to allow me to actually get people, give them something, a little half an hour extra that only patrons will get. And over the Panto season, I'm going to start building towards actually just doing an extra Ramble Pod, but I've got to come up with something that's a bit more fucking for the people, and that'll be exclusive to you. So it's an extra half an hour of content that you can only get through the Patreon page. Yeah. And also there's a T Republic if you prefer to, go that way rather than actually giving money direct towards the podcast. Buy something on the T Republic page. I'm adding it to the website hopefully today. Just have to fucking get at it for a bit of time, but I got to shoot into town straight after. Quite literally, I'm going to upload this, shoot straight into town because of another podcast interview today for Friday. But and I'm doing another one tomorrow actually, just because I need to fucking double down because things are going to get fairly fucking busy, lads. Fairly fucking busy. So like that, feel free to have a gander at the fucking... You can go. You'll see it in the description of this anyway. But also, if you go to the Facebook page, it's T Republic /Tom O'Mahony. Have a fucking gander at it. If you like the logos and shit, people seem to like it. The logo is cool. I don't give a shit. It is cool. Came roughly from it is a cool logo. So people love getting it on fucking all sorts. Whether it's on, I think you can get it on like cozies and everything. I've ordered a few bits myself. Apparently they're coming from somewhere in Europe. They're not coming. The last stickers that came to me clearly had Chicago written on the fucking sticker, and I don't think there's a Chicago in fucking Roscommon. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm fucking wrong. How was your week? It was a good weekend, wasn't it? Anybody, even if you weren't a rugby fan, it was a good fucking weekend. You can't but help get excited, really, can you? Just watching fucking Irish lads absolutely fucking... What the fuck is that? The fucking dog in the background? 1 second, it's my fucking phone. Hang on 1 second. Christ almighty. And we're back. We're back. It was the fucking phone. Jesus Christ. Couldn't even tell my own phone. I had to go and get a new phone. The phone shit the bed over the weekend. It was on the way out anyway. Are they fucking... Is that a thing? Because I read somewhere... No, this is coming from the fucking mind of a fucking idiot, right? But I read somewhere that Samsung and Apple were being fucking sued for reducing the battery life on phones remotely. Is that a fucking thing? That's some CIA level shit. Are they actually doing that? Well, mine just... It was breaking my fucking bollocks. Even though I'm not... Jesus Christ. Because you need the old fucking phone. Especially doing this business. Like, you're fucking... Yeah, people need answers straight away. Like, you know, that kind of way. You can't be going a couple of days without the phone. So I had to go and get a new phone. Easiest sell the man ever made. Like, I'm not out of contract for another fucking, like, 10 months or some shit. Like, but your man just says, so I will sell you. And he was trying to upsell me all sorts of shit. I said, lad, you have no idea how little of a fuck I give about. Can it hold a couple of apps? He was like, yes. I said, that's fine. I bought the same fucking phone. That was it. I went, yeah. I didn't even realise. Like, he was pointing out to me, like, about this fucking... He was trying Huawei, or Huawei. I don't know what the fuck. He was trying to flog me this thing because it had a good camera. I was like, what the fuck do I look like? Do I look like somebody who gives a bollocks about his camera? You fucking joke me. If it takes a picture, grand. But at no point am I ever going to be looking for awards for my fucking pictures of fucking food and me being a dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Like, just relax, will you, for fuck's sake. So, inadvertently, I actually just pointed at the phone. I said, is that one grand, is it? He went, yes, this is the Samsung, and he's giving it the whole fucking spiel. I'm like, lad, just put it in the fucking bag. Put it in the fucking bag and cut that shit out, will you? Turns out it's pretty much the exact same phone as I had. So it should last to 10 months. I need to get one of those tough otter covers, you know, those fucking ones. Because I have it 2 days, and already, like, why did they make them so fucking slippy? Why make them out of smooth? Well, they know what they're fucking doing. They want you to drop it and make shit of it on the ground. Make it out of a fucking rough fucking material. Do you know what I mean? Make it rubbery. Make the case actually rubbery. Be a very simple fucking thing to do. Why don't they do that? Because they want you to go and buy their fucking cases. That's why. And this, I know this sounds like me wearing a tinfoil hat and all the rest of it, but it, in a simpler form, like, if you walked up, like, you know, fucking outdoor fucking steps, and they're made out of shiny plastic, you'd go, what the fuck are these made out of shiny plastic for? Would they not put some grippy stuff on it? And people would go, you're fucking right, because somebody's going to sue you. Because there's a high chance of you... Like, they know there's a high chance of shiny, slippy plastic flying out of your fucking hand. Why wouldn't you put grippy stuff on the back of it? Anyway, least of anybody's fucking worries. It was a good game. Whether you're a rugby person or not, I think it was... I went to the pub. It was one of the first Saturday nights I've had off in fucking yonks, and it was powerful crack. I was out with Cormac Moore and Keith Fox and Thomas Cross. A couple of podcast folks there, a couple of radio lads, a couple of comedians. Good fucking times. Good times. There's always the fear, like, when you go out to, you know, because I like watching rugby at home because I'm old. But the fear is that you're going to have to fucking mingle with prize pricks, and thankfully everybody was sound. There was just a good old buzz around the place. Like, it was just this, yeah, we could get our holes handed to us, but we didn't. Fucking just watching Irish lads absolutely fucking melting fucking New Zealand lads. It was quality stuff. I was in, I think anybody who follows me on Instagram, they kind of got a vibe of, I had a gig last week, and I was talking about the Garda one. I had to do a fucking gig down for the guards. Here's the thing, right? You never know what any kind of corporate or private thing is going to be like. You never really know. But there's normally a standardized thing where you can kind of go, look, if this is what you want, this is what's needed. Because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't rock up to the fucking mechanic with no car, you know, and go, fix my fucking car. You go, where's the fucking car? It's at home. You fucking dickhead. How am I supposed to, you know? It just can't be done. So there's always a handful of things. And comedy is a simplistic enough fucking yoke, like, you know what I mean? It's simple in one way, versus music in another way is simple, but it's like there's little or no gear, so you just rock up with your fucking face to talk. But you need a handful of fucking... So I rock up, I get to Templemore. To anybody outside of Ireland who's not from here, like Templemore is in North Tipperary, which is about 80 miles away from where I'm from, so it may as well be from another fucking planet. Like the omens weren't fucking hectic, right? I came off the motorway. It was like 10 or 11 degrees. I drove 14 kilometres, which is less than 10 miles, to Templemore, and it was 2.5 degrees. How the fuck does it drop? Like, that's some fucking Silent Hill level shit, isn't it? And even you pull up, like it's a town that's used to, like, surely you'd be used to a lot. Like, it's not a bad looking town, like, and I've only ever passed through it, I think, before, but I went into the petrol station. I just wanted to use the jacks, like, but I got a bottle of water, and there's an owl one behind the counter. She wasn't even that owl, but she was looking at me like I was, I don't know, like she thought I was going to fucking rob the place or something. Like, I don't exactly have the head of a fucking vicar, but it's, I don't have fucking robbing the place. And this one was, do you ever have, like, somebody look at you so weird that you think there's something on your face? Do you know, like, what the fuck are you want to go, what the fuck are you looking at? She just, and you need to be picking up on them moments too, like, you're going, this is fucking, this one is looking, it's just a bottle of water, and she was like, that'll be your cowering. It's like, you are in the wrong business, lady. You're working in a fucking petrol station. Like, if you're terrified of people. But head out, go into the place, and all of a sudden things are perking up. I drive into in the gate. Your man's like, in you come. There's young guards everywhere. They're all and I didn't really know what about. I got told at the last minute that it was a charity thing. First, I thought it was just going to be. No, first I was going to be doing stand up for about 20-25 minutes, and then hosting some. They were going to have some lip sync battle thing. That didn't fucking happen, right? I didn't get told that wasn't happening until about a week out. This bloke rings me, all aggressive. Yeah, so what are you doing? I was like, whoa. This isn't... I was speaking to a different guy who was totally cool, and this is a different... Yeah, well, we're not doing that, okay? I'm like, all right, take it down a notch. Take it fucking down a notch. This isn't a criminal you're talking to. You can stop being pure guard for 1 fucking second, will you? But like that, drove in, it was lovely, there was a load of people around, like it turns out it was a charity event, and there was going to be talk from the commissioner. Everybody, of course, was in tenterhooks because, of course, the Maurice McCabe fucking documentary had come out 2 days previous. So I was like, what the fuck? The place is rattles. But people were in, all the young guards that I met, like one guy, he said, hey, you were in Damo and I were fucking love that show. Come on over here, we'll park you over here. I was like, this is nice, it's practically valet parking. So I ring the dude to find out where I'm supposed to go. He's like, yeah. He answered the phone with, yeah. I get walked down to the museum bit. It's nice, you know what I mean? Who do I run into? Fucking Aidan O'Mahony, podcast guest, fucking Dancing with the Stars champion. He's also a guard. Part of, he's a guard in inverted commas, like, you know what I mean? He's the face of the guards. Hell of a nice guy, but you could tell he was even on tenterhooks because, like, there was bosses around us, new commissioners around, and it's almost, I swear to God, it's the weirdest vibe I was getting. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this is fucking school. You're all in school and you're terrified of the boss man. Why the fuck are you so scared? If you get fired, you get fired. So fucking what? Who's going to fire you for just so you're not allowed? I started quickly getting the vibe. Oh, this is where the breeding happens to turn you into non-humans. You should not be doing this. You should be going the other way, and if anything, making you nicer, caring people. Like, take it down a notch. Like, he did. It doesn't have to be this fucking serious all the time. But I was still okay with it. I was like, to be fair, I've gone through way fucking more dense fucking security, having to get into pharmaceutical companies to do gigs and stuff, than I have here. So this vibe might be all right. Maybe I'm off. And there was people like, it was a show. It was like a kids charity. It was great fucking charity by the sounds of things. But there was handshakes going on. There was lots of photographs and stuff with other people. And the museum was actually pretty cool. But this one woman, she was very cool. She brought me around for a bit of a fucking tour. Got to see where they do their combat training and stuff. It's like, this is cool. This, you know what I mean? This is exactly what I was hoping our fucking Garda Force would be doing. So I walk out, and from there, it's like, look, I'll leave you off here. This is where you're going to be performing. And I walk in, essentially a fucking parish hall, which is absolutely grand. But there are no chairs in the parish hall. And if you imagine a building stuck onto the back of that, which is the bar area. So it's a separate room, totally. And that's where the side they're going to be entering from. It's brightly lit, the whole lot, We've got about 45 minutes before we kick off. I meet the two lads from the band. I'm like, lads, what the fuck is going on? There's no music. There's nothing. Like, there's nothing. There's no chairs, the places. So I get on to this sound bloke. He's a guard there as well, who's doing the DJing. And I go, man, can you put on some fucking music as people walk in to take the weird vibe out of this? And can we change these fucking lights some bit? And what are the chances of getting a couple of hundred chairs? Because we're due about 300 of these fucking recruits in about 45 minutes. And he's like, yeah, no, there's no chairs. So I'm like, okay, so we're going to stand like it's a fucking, a Foo Fighters gig. Okay, all right. Do they even know the comedy's coming? They're like, no, not really. I was like, oh, okay, all right. So these people aren't going to be in. So then I start getting told that everybody has to be in bed by like 11, half 11. I'm like, what? These are grown-ass adults and you need them to be in bed on a night you're going to... Oh my good Jesus. Next thing it proceeds to... Everybody starts pouring in through the door where the bar is. Of course they're not walking into the hall area. Because why would you? There's no tables or chairs in there. It's just this giant-ass hall. And it's stage. And then it kicks off with... They bring the commissioner in. It's all about the charity. And everybody's giving a talk. We've now run an hour and a half over before starting time, right? Which always happens with these gigs. It's fine. And then... While everybody's still as soon as the commissioner and all the bosses leave and everything talk about this great charity they're doing, everybody reverts immediately back into the bar again. Then the guy who's like, yeah, on the phone, he goes out on stage and goes, so, yeah, that was that. And, yeah, we have a comedian now. I can't remember his fucking name. I swear to God, the guy goes. And so, he goes, so please welcome to the stage. And I walk out and I just start breaking my whole laughing out. Shit, this setup is. I'm like, dude, a handful of things could have made this fun for everybody. And I went out and I just put my foot like on the speaker, just kind of going, well, I've got to do now like half an hour to 45 minutes of this, and I don't know how this is going to go for anybody here. And to be fair, about 60 or 70 of them were really trying to dig it, but like even they don't know. Like the stage is like 8 foot tall, they can't come that fucking close to it. They're back about like, and I've got to coax people. Most people can't even hear because the speakers aren't on in the back, and you're going, what is this shit? And we're in this weird fucking bubble. I figured, okay, time wise, I got to do a half an hour, right? Then that same dude starts jumping in and out of the wings behind me with like a signed Hurley for the raffle they're going to have at the break, right? I look over my shoulder and go, what the fuck is going on, man? And we've had, like with some, like I said, 60 or 70 of them who were digging it, were even looking, going, I could see their eyes moving. I look over my shoulder and this guy's jumping in and out with this Hurley. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He goes, we got a raffle. I go, you're in your 50s, dude. Can you not keep your shit together? Next thing, this guard who's in uniform jumps up, and I'm like, now who the fuck is this guy? I quite literally vocalized it. Man's like, he was in some hyper fucking, like, it's almost like, when you get a fucking gang of hens on a hen night. They're brave as fuck. Same with a stag night. This guy, brave as fuck. He grabs the mic. He's like, my name's Fergal, and he's whatever his name is, and you're the comedian. Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this Twilight fucking Zone bubble we're in? That's at minus fucking 2 degrees, like, whatever. I'm like, I think I'm wrapping this shit up. And he goes, who wants the raffle? He starts doing it back and forth, like, dude, you're fine. You can have your fucking raffle. I had my jacket on before even your man. I just walked the fuck away. I'm like, this is the strangest shit. The guy runs out. He starts fucking raffling off stuff. Gets, like, as I'm walking out, I'm seeing this fucking, just this weird kind of to and fro between him and, like, clearly they've got this power over these students, and these students are going, these guys are gods. But you're going, guys, you need to actually go out into the real world for a while, because you are not going to develop. It's like, I remember when I was in college, right? You could tell who was in the Mary I Teachers College up the road. You could tell, because they were still behaving like 14, 15-year-olds, giggling and stuff behind their hands, all nervous and stuff. You're like, and at this stage, like, we're in second and third year in college, you're not a mature person, but you've at least put on your big boy trousers. You know what I mean? Like, and you started to act like a fucking adult. And this was the exact same thing. It was just this closed environment in a small town in the centre of, like, they should really move it back up to the fucking Phoenix Park, so at least they can get out and about and actually meet some humans while they're, like, it's only other, and they're all, like, if you keep telling yourself, like, I'm not saying it's like a cult, but it's kind of like a cult in that if you keep telling each other, yeah, we're class, aren't we? We're fucking class. Everybody has to fucking eat it. You're going to believe that. And when you get somebody coming in from the outside who, by the way, sees every corner of this fucking country and looks at you going, lads, you have 1% of what's fucking needed to actually fucking synchronize in with humans. What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You're setting these youngsters are going to be set backwards going out. Because then they got to relearn what humans are about. Just do that human shit in college. It'll nick. But to be fair to any recruits, it was none of their fault. It was just I haven't done a hell gig in a while. And you'll hear if you listen to the Tom and Jerry show, we have a hell gig section in every moment, like the shit gig section. And they're all about the setup. And typically the audience, it's not really their fault. Most of the time it's the setup. And this was exactly the same. And I haven't done one because you just, thankfully, at this stage of my career, you don't have to do that shit anymore. And this was just, why the fuck did you make it so difficult? And it was clearly somebody who had, do you know the way, here's the great thing about stand-up comedy. You have to be always thinking 3 steps ahead when it comes to jokes. Because thinking about what's in the fucking moment is all well and good, but something could go fucking sideways at any time. These people had clearly only thought about what was at the end of their nose. They hadn't thought about, because this is the thing, before I even went on stage, we're talking 5 minutes before I went on, some young guard who was on duty that evening came up to the DJ guy and went, sorry, all the lads down the back want to know if you turn up the music another bit. I'm like, turn up the music? What the fuck? I'm supposed to be going on now. What? Turn up? They had no idea. They had no idea. So it was in no way their fault. It was just the running of the situation. It was like, all you had to do was ask me. Trust me, I've done thousands of gigs. Ask me what would be best for the whole thing, including the speeches and all the rest of it. What would be best for the whole thing? And I would have laid it out for you. But, nah, you just rock up and you're going, what did you expect? What did you expect? 2 steps away from this, what did you think was going to happen? Nobody can fucking hear. Nobody knows what's going on. And the main thing was, these kids were coming in. I say kids, they were fucking somewhere in their mid-20s. But they were coming in with, they had to be in bed by 11 o'clock. I'm going to guzzle as much fucking beer as I can get inside myself. And I don't care if there's a fucking striptease on stage, let alone comic or a fucking band. I'm going to absolutely fucking just guzzle beer. So, I mean, it was quite fucking, to say that it was pointless me being there. It was pointless. But you know what? I came away, and this is the weird thing. It was still 2.5 degrees when I got into the car. I'm like, what the fuck was that? What the? I wasn't expecting a comedy club, but at least fucking, put some thought into I'm not saying you have to be an event manager, but at least ask somebody who has put on 1 or 2 of these things so it doesn't look like a mess. Which I suppose the outcome is that it's not a public thing, so it doesn't fucking matter, and nobody's going to say anything to somebody who's an instructor. No, they're not going to. So there's no consequence to their actions. But I went back to the car. It was 2.5 degrees. I'm like, fuck, the temperature, we're into the winter now. I swear to God, 14k back to the motorway, 11 degrees again. It's like, yes, that was actually Silent Hill. That was actually fucking Silent Hill. And you go like that. This is the thing about stand-up. You can have fucking 1,000 rocking gigs, ripping the roof off. You have one bad gig and it's like, well, that's put me back in my box. That's put me back in my box. Because that's the reality of the world you're in. You're only 1 gig away from it just going, what the fuck is going on? But thankfully, the following night I was down in Ballincollig. Oh, it was like a warm hug. It was like a warm hug of a gig. Ballincollig, it's on the west side of the city. It's just a nice town. Small, they call it a village. It's a big fucking village, I'll tell you that much. And I gigged in the venue before. I didn't realise. I'd actually, the Black Sheep is the name of the comedy club, but it's upstairs in a pub called the White Horse. I like it. But it's a small venue, but it's fucking gorgeous. And the 2 lads running it are just the nicest chaps. It was just exactly what I needed. It was like, yeah, we need to go back here to where people have actually chosen. It was funny, the lads were saying a bunch of people. So fair play to anybody who came out to that one, because it would seem podcast listeners have come out to, because it was the first gig they've ever put on where people were buying tickets singularly. I must have a lot of listeners who are single people. I don't know. Hey, fair fucks to you. Fair fucks. You don't need anybody for going to a comedy gig because all the action's happening up front. But it was just, and in fairness to everybody that was on, Aidan Green was on, Ruth Hunter was on, and I've forgotten. Like, Dennis runs it with a chap called Roger, and Roger was hosting. And talk about you just rarely run across gems that you've never heard of. Fucking dynamite. Now, to be fair, it wasn't. It couldn't be 180 degrees fucking more strict of 180 degrees line from what I was doing the night before in the way of quality fucking run gig and nice, like, people who had chosen to come to comedy. But he fucking smashed it. He absolutely smashed it. And you couldn't go, like, I went on stage and had a therapy session for about fucking half an hour. That was essentially what it was, and people seemed really happy with it. But even, do you know what? Like, I mean, it's down to minor things like even the barman, like, there's certain, and this is getting pernickety shit, like, and you can deal with fucking most stuff, but like when you're, like, you could sometimes be in a place, and if it has a bar in it, and the barman is just smashing around dishwashers and everything in the back, it's like, come on, man, come on, like, you don't have to be This guy even had a technique for fucking putting ice cubes in quietly, and he was like, sorry, no, I don't know what about making much fucking noise, you know what I mean? I'm like, I fucking love this guy. He just was real pro barman about it, and that's a good fucking vibe throughout the place. You're like, right, this crowd. And when you see the pictures up on the wall, you see the likes of Damien Dempsey, Mundy, like, serious names that play in this venue on a regular basis. And it's just a small venue, but you could see why fucking Leonard Cohen would want to play there. It's just so fucking cozy. It's just like one of those class fucking, you hear about fucking Eric Clapton back in the day, or fucking even Nirvana doing those unplugged sessions where it's like 50 people exclusively allowed in. You could see a thing like that going on in this joint. Oh, do yourselves a favour. And just, I think Emma Doran is playing there next month. If you're down that neck of the woods, you can't go wrong. I'm not kidding you, just for fucking, just a lovely, lovely spot. A lovely fucking spot. Now, granted, I pulled in for a bag of chips on the way up the road. They were horrendous, but I was starving. And that's strange, because it's not indicative of Cork when it comes to chips. They do their fucking chips in Cork with fucking pride. But this place, not so much. I can't remember the name of it. It was some rockin' diner looking place. Hey, listen, I was fucking starving, so it was all right. It was all fucking right. Oh my god, it was therapeutic though. What a therapeutic fucking gig. Oh Jesus Christ, had a bit of a dip though. Like that, I've been eating fucking clean. I've been trying to eat fucking clean, but just moments like that. And then of course I had a few pints. I haven't had pints in a fucking while, and it was, you know what I mean, where to rock away and do something else. I was actually, they had nothing on Saturday night, bar watch that game with the boys and have a few fucking pints. And of course I'm hanging like a fucking dog the following day. Sure, I had to do the whole fucking Thai takeaway stuff and everything. Lads, listen, don't look at me like that. Don't you fucking look at me like that. We all have a fucking slip off every so often. I'm back on a clean living, making a big venison stew now in a minute, when I come back from recording this podcast in town. And yeah, it'll be fucking, back on the fucking road again. Because Panto training starts next week. And I'm not joking with you, lepping around and all that. Like, they don't even ask me to do much in the way of dancing, but the fucking on and off, they fucking keep staying sharp for fucking 2 hours. Because you need to get your timing right and get on and off. Especially, I'm guessing my role this year is going to be a fair bit of lipping on and off in the middle of people's scenes and stuff like that. I swear to God, I won't steal your scenes. I'm totally going to try and steal your scenes. But I've got nothing else. I don't have singing or dancing. So I'm going to have to try and be funny as fuck. Yeah, you have to have your shit together. I find anyway, you gotta have your fucking shit together. Thank you very much too. A few people came back to me about CBD oil. Apparently it does knock you the fuck out. That's all I need to know. Well, let's give it a go. I might actually fucking tip into some place in town. I'm sure there's a place in town. There's a couple of, I see Will Fleury, friend of the podcast and fighter. He's a great advocate, and I think Johnny Phillips, who he fights with as well out of SBG, I think he's now got a company called Hemp Heroes or something, so I might hit them lads up and see what the fucking crack is, just for knocking you out. Even if you're fucking knackered and your fucking brain to be going 100 miles an hour, that's all I need. Is a few people came back and said, yeah, it does exactly that. Nobody came, in fairness, there was no counter to the argument, and that might just be down to people couldn't be arsed. They may have the argument but go, couldn't be arsed fucking texting him. Fair enough. But the people that did, fair play to you, thanks a million. It was, it looks like it's going to be the job. Let's give that a fucking go. I just scrolled, like, while I was setting up the gear here or whatever, I was just scrolling through, and apparently Well, I don't know if anybody, I shared it on I shared it on my Facebook page. Somebody on, how the fuck he did it, I don't know. But they were talking about Prince William was at something with, what's her name? What's the wife's name? We'll call her the wife anyway. Because I don't know about this shit, like, but he was saying it was something to do. I must have been something to do with poppies or Memorial Days or something like that. But he's like, because of course Prince William himself spent many years in the RAF, and it was just, I know, like, you gotta make a laugh out of that. I'm sorry, like, you know what I mean. Maybe again, frightened of the fucking boss, like, you don't know what's gonna happen, like, but Jesus Christ, like, you know. He said he was in the fucking IRA. You gotta turn around and go, sorry about that. You know, because it's the only way to talk your way out of it. If you try and cover it up by pretending like it didn't happen, it makes it fucking way worse. Just put your hand up and go, he wasn't in the IRA. Just disclaimer there. A disclaimer. He wasn't in the IRA. There's just, I don't fucking know why you wouldn't do it. Like, how the fuck he even kept a straight face? Or maybe he was just thinking, I gotta pay the mortgage next month. I could be fucking fired for saying what I just said. I could be actually found dead for saying what I just said. There was actually, I think it was during the Ireland soccer match on, was it Friday night? Oh Lord, you can never expect too much from society. God bless him. But there was a guy had a flag at the Ireland match. Were Ireland playing Northern Ireland? No, they weren't. No, I don't know who they were fucking playing. To be fair, I don't follow it enough, lads. And it's not down to a success thing or whatever. The fact that a game can go 0-0 at the end, I'm sorry, like, there has to be something. There has to be something. It cannot be acceptable to not score anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, it can't be. It just can't. Like, they have to fucking widen the goals. Like, they have to fucking widen the goals or allow in shouldering. Allow in, like, Gaelic football shouldering. I'm not saying it has to go full rugby tackle, but allow in something where you can actually mill through a fella and score a fucking goal, like, because something, like, that's one thing, good, bad, or indifferent, one thing about the fucking rugby crowd, like, when they start seeing things that aren't fucking working in rugby, they have no bother in changing the rule to speed up the game, to make it more interesting, to fucking make it one thing or another, or to make it safer. Safety is the big thing, but they do things too to fucking speed it up to fuck, like, you know what I mean? Stop making it a stodgy fucking game, making it a good spectacle. That's why it's becoming so popular these days, like, I mean, but, like, Jesus Christ almighty, 0-0. That's just give me my fucking money back. And that's not my notion. That was a funny joke made by fucking Spike Milligan years ago going, I can't. Fucking 0-0. But there was somebody at the game had a flag, as they do, tons of flags, and somebody had the original old Munster crest was on the flag of 3 crowns on, you know, which is on a blue background or whatever, and it some fucking tit on Twitter had basically had a lambasted it, because when you looked quickly at it and, like, it was really far away, but, like, you needed only to look for an extra second longer than 2 seconds to realise it wasn't. But this guy essentially thought it was a picture of a badly drawn balaclava. Like, of all the things that you would go to try and incite, you know, sectarian hatred, would you draw a really badly drawn balaclava? Like, what a fucking, enough to just go, like, to put it out there and put it on Twitter, you fucking clown, like. Have another look and have a look again before you write that shit on Twitter, because it got put up everywhere. This person was like, fucking disgraceful, you know, they're putting up their fucking sectarian balaclava. Just like, what, you fucking clown, you absolute fucking plug. Well, have another look just before you write. This is what I'm talking about. You gotta think 3 steps down the line, what's the outcome going to be of what I'm about to fucking do? Because my tits are going to get fucking slapped if I'm wrong. Because if you're coming heavy, you better have your fucking facts right, because that's fair fucking heavy to come out with, like. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing, really. I don't know what the I can't think who the fuck they were playing. Jesus Christ almighty. Who else was bitch? Oh yeah, well, I mean, as you talk, like, clearly, like, and it's funny because we were only Merrigan, Graham was on the week before last, and we were talking about sensationalist journalism, like, in the way of Paul Kimmage. And you see these the likes of Paul Kimmage, he sells an ocean too, like, that I'm speaking for to every man, and you're going, nah, you're a fucking troll. You're a troll. When you come out with that sensational shit, you're a troll, basically. Like, you could just write the facts and write, like, opinion pieces and all the rest of it are fine, but like, there's a level we are going. Because he threw in there. Merrow was asking. He was a guest of theirs, Ewan McKenna, and like the lads had a great time for him, and I had too. Like, and I still do. But it's like he wrote a piece last week that he got a bit of a slapping over because it was just attacking basically the fact that Irish people were getting excited by playing New Zealand, and that if they were real rugby fans, they'd be getting excited by Germany versus Canada in rugby, which was a qualifier for the World Cup. I was like, lad, come on. Like, he'd put up, I didn't write, I just went, what's the fucking point? Like, because this is all it is. And it was still going, like, because they did a podcast with rugby, or off the ball rugby and all the rest of it, where the lads were having a go at him going, listen, you're fucking bang on the line there. And he was backing, and then what started to annoy me, and what annoyed me about the article was like, okay, all right, I get what you're doing. There's no fucking way you believe this. You're either completely mental if you genuinely believe this, like, or you just fucking hate rugby and everything about it. But it was the fact that he started throwing in bits from like and totally off piece altogether, going, and what are Munster doing down there, like scouring for fucking like the likes of CJ Stander, I mean whatever they're at down there, and you're like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you're doing the Kimmage now, where Kimmage had to go at Munster, and their fans are basically, what did he call them, fuckwits or something, for basically applauding your man Grobler, who had done a bit of fucking steroids back in the day or whatever. You're like, you just pluck that one out of the fucking sky. Because if that's the case, you can, Kieran Marmion is English, you know what I mean? You obviously have a problem with him too. You obviously have no problem at all with the fucking recruiting that the Irish soccer team have done. Like, Tony Cascarino he actually didn't qualify. He illegally played for fucking Ireland. No mention of that whatsoever. You know, and that was what came up as well in his interview. It's like, oh, dude, I know you're trying to back up what you're saying, but like, again, you gotta think two steps down the line. Like, what's coming down the line? If you're gonna come in heavy, have it fucking packed. Like, and it was sensationalist journalism, like, to suggest that fucking Germany versus Canada, even the Germans and Canadians wouldn't fucking back that. And I had to even tweet him that, like, when I saw because he came up in my timeline, there was a bunch of people kind of having a go at him or whatever, and he was commenting on every one of them, and I went, lad, I get what you're doing, lad, but suggesting that fucking, for Irish people too, not just the world of rugby, but Irish people should be more interested. Why? I don't know. Yeah, it's a big tournament. Why the fuck would they care about Canada and fucking Germany's qualification? I mean, it's not in the realm of possibility that they'll either, if they do come up against either one of them, they're gonna fucking beat them. There's just fucking no way. Like, you could put out the fruit and veg, and like the fourth string, the fucking 21s would beat either one. I don't give a fuck what you say. They're just, you know, it's never going to. But it was just that level of sensationalism. You're like, oh, dude. If you like, all right, I let you have your, maybe, you know, Irish people shouldn't get so excited about beating the All Blacks. Maybe they shouldn't, because, you know, there's a fucking level of, oh, Jesus Christ, we got ourselves all excited here and we've actually won no trophies. Fair enough. But don't be suggesting that Canada and Germany playing in a fucking World Cup qualifier is actually should be more important to the Irish public. Why? Because even if they want them, if they could put the two teams out, all 30 fucking players out against the starting Irish 15, and they'd still get fucking beaten. So there's no fucking reason to give a bollocks about it. But, and you know, there's not even an argument to say that you get to break a fucking record where you actually go 10 on the run, 11 on the run at home, and one of those happens to be doing something you've never done, beat the world's best at home. Do you know what I mean? Can you, like, it wasn't put to him in the interview at all, hey, what would happen if the Irish soccer team beat the World Cup fucking who are World Cup champions? Is it Spain? I don't fucking know. But imagine if they beat them, and beat them comprehensively in the Aviva. Jesus Christ almighty, the likes of him would be there'd be lads ejaculating all over their fucking selves just looking at the fucking thing. Holy shit. And it'd be justified. But it was that level. I get what he was saying in that, yeah, okay, but throwing in stuff like, and fucking Munster, you're like, okay, relax. All right, that has nothing to do with what you're fucking talking about at all. But you're just, while you're at it, you're just fucking trying to smack as many people on the head as possible and then run away behind the ball. And no, I would have no interest in having him on the podcast. There'd be no point because we just back and forth about what. But look, he's got to sell papers too. He's got to sell papers. You know what I mean? And you can say what you want about opinion pieces, but like, Jesus, oh Lord, that was a long old fucking podcast. Jesus Christ, I gotta get going. Hey, thanks very much for sending in all videos and clips over the weekend. Lads driving trucks and all fucking sorts. People fucking on the piss. People at work. People just fucking enjoying it. Send me screen grabs as well. Like, you know what I mean? If you don't feel you want to send me a fucking picture of your fucking head, send me a screen grab where you're listening. Because it's good to throw it up on the old Instagram and the Facebook and the chatty snaps for just for other folks to go, oh, fucking cool. This is where other people are listening. Because tell us where you're listening. Whether it's in fucking, West Offaly or fucking Eastern fucking Canada. Send it on. More than fucking happy. We'll retweet it or repost it. Send it on to fuck. Yeah, I like that. So if you don't follow me on any of the social platforms, it's your first time listening, hit subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give it an owl rating. Give it the fucking 5 stars. Don't be worrying about any of the other motherfucking stars. If it isn't worth 5 stars to you, keep the fucking other ones in your pocket. You're all right, because 5 stars is what we need. That drives us up the charts. If you follow me on, follow me, Tom O'Mahony Comedy. Will find me on everything from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can follow the podcast if you want. You may as well if you just want to get quick updates or whatever on it and stuff. And I'll be adding more. There's more content, and I will have time between shows and stuff like that down over the Christmas period. And January is going to be good because I've only comedy gigs during January, and there's only a handful. So January is going to be a down month for me, where I get my fucking shit all back in line, where we get this fucking plenty of content out there for the listeners. Because it'd be class to get it up to like 3 or 4 a week, but that's going to have to go to Patreon, people. This is the only way I can do that one, because you need to be justifying the squids and all the rest of it. Like I said, give Patreon a fucking look. If you want to keep an eye on where gigs are going, have a look at tomomahony.com/gigs. And if you're on the old chatty snaps, it's Tom Bear O'Mahony. Like I said, I don't really put up much on that, but I will reply to you or whatever. Not a fucking bother. Anyway, that's been the Ramble Pod. I'll catch you again on Friday. Have a good one.